Ski Town has got our boys from the Four Kings. And it looks like Get is already on the way to pick up some of... If we take a quick peek over Frigid Wetlands, 3 squads dropping in here. And Gecko Z will be the first one to get shut down by Klepsy. Easy takedown early game. So obviously he took advantage instantaneously in the Gulag. Gecko Z goes, and that's pretty much a no-brainer for that guy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good thing that they have Gulag as a fallback as well, if in case you fail your initial engagement. And if you win that, you instantly get back to the team. But one thing that seems really like Delta would be needing at this point is a little bit of more of position. Because it seems like for the early parts, if they're off position, when it's seen against Leap, you will be falling down easily. If in case Leap, the ones who took down Gecko TZ, managed to just decided to go and rush everyone, it might be the end for Delta at that point, and that would be a difficult situation to deal with, even especially when the pressure of the grand finals is on each and every team.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And obviously the team's just trying their best to stay away from each other as of this point of time. And KM2, Hades, NA, keeping an eye on these boys from the side of OBS main. Cloudy just slowly creeping around, understanding that he's got the long-range weapon, he's got the sniper in his hands, but what he does not have is a little bit of extra confidence to take on these boys all at the same time, because they're stacked, man. Look at Paul, 10.7k in his pocket, almost equaling the total prize pool in the #1 spot at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely buy your own airdrop arsenal, equip yourself, but they don't want to risk that. They don't want to be in a risk of being gunned down later on before that airdrop even get into play. But as you can see right now, we have KM2 pulling away, or no, only one player though, just roaming around, just strolling. And that's probably one reason why OBS, or Claudia to be exact, is being cautious. Because if in case he'll be able to catch one off guard, it does have that Fennec in hand. So, yep, you have the long range, you have that Fennec available for you. You'll be able to go into short range engagement as well. Instant 1 point for you. But for Blackfire, we've seen this so many times, and they will be prioritizing on a chopper. But they might be seeing Immortal Esports, or IE, in this point. Is more of an information gameplay, as Berto and the rest of the teams of Blackfire will try to go in for the jump. There goes Shockwave, plus a little bit of firepower, but Carl with R9, going in for the hit, but Red managed to come back and take that revenge.
Yeah, beautifully done here. An alien from up top has managed to shut down Red before he can get away. The rest of the players here from the side of Blackfire in a little bit of trouble. Naxi pulls out the snowboard, tries to get away. 50% HP still on him. Problem is, Alien does have the snowboard on him as well. Whips it out yet again.
Your teammate is
And he gets sent to the Gulag.
That's just it. I mean, not even a time for you to flinch. You just black out and you will wake up in the Gulag. Well, the rest of the teams will deal with what's going to happen next. We still have Nat, as well as one more player from Immortal Esports, and going against a 2v2 between against Blackfire. But Nash TZ, well, Luki and Nash TZ, they have been a team from the past, and I guess they are still sticking up with the usual tactic. Let's see if they'll be able to bring up more points right now, because this is what they need compared to what we've seen in Knockout Stage. Blackfire seems to be shying away initially from getting those elimination points, wherein they have the strength to deal with a different team overall.
Yeah, Blackfire now just needs to be a little patient here. Berto didn't really succeed in the Gulag, so he's got to wait for his buddies to buy him back. They've got the money, but they just need to be a little bit patient here, because one wrong move, and here comes the boys who can end their run, IE and Rage. On the way to the top, Luki on his foot, trying to get away alongside Nash Z. As Red wins that Gulag, is back in here. The deployment for the side of Blackfire just staggered at this point of time, and obviously they are in a tad bit of a risk here. Now,
yeah, let's see though. I mean, Leap this time around is dealing with Valdrus. And my bro! Almost being it with an FHJ!
Usangala.
For him. But that's not a weapon that you're going to go in a CQC, but, well, it is what it is right now. Probably a misclick as well. But they're still alive though. They're still alive in a full squad.
Thankfully, his buddies were there to save him from the little boo-boo. But, you know, I mean, I've been victim to the SMRs in the past. It's fairly effective when you're going up against a noob. Probably not in a lobby like this, when you've got some of the best in the Philippines taking each other on. Whipping out an SMRs isn't the best of ideas. 3 of the players on the side of RBH in the Gulag! And that is a lucky enough revival at the very final second before the last player got taken down there. I think one of those players got the win in the Gulag, and right back in it. We are still with 16 teams now.
Yeah, well, definitely 16 teams, and no one's going off just yet because of that Gulag insurance policy,
Holy
and not
mama.
even the teams are being that aggressive as well. So you
Yeah.
can see the slowdown in the gameplay. There's not
Yeah.
so much of aggression. Yes,
Mm.
you can like we found initial engagement. We see
Yeah.
initial fights happening, but there's a little bit of caution that
Yeah.
is being shown by the teams. Even the four kings are shying away from getting initial elimination in this point. So you can feel the pressure. You can feel the pressure overall, and we might see all of those engagement in a bit. Was the next phase of a circle, and it's shying away from everyone else with
Oh, yeah.
standoff as well as downtown in the middle.
This is just absolutely deadly because that's just how Garena Call of Duty Mobile is geared up right now. Those circles are nasty and they just fly away from you. And in a lobby that's as heated as this, it's deadly if you're one of those final few players who are making your way in. But Seiya, not wanting to take a risk here on the side of IA and Rage as the final player alive. The rest of his team members still waiting for their turn in the Gulag. So he makes the decision to back away instead of taking advantage of shutting down Red here. So Blackfire again walking away with a little bit of luck on their side.
Yeah, well, luck as well as motivation, a little bit of confidence as well. After winning up some of those engagement against IE, then that would give them all those things in one package. Now let's see if that's something that they can pull out later on once they get into the circle and battle for those who are already waiting. As Leap Kleptazi is going in for initial together with a flank coming from Sato, and Delta would be feeling the wrath of the Leap team, and KG would be taken out initially from this fight. And rest of Delta, I think it's only one push and they might be taken out.
Yeah, KG says GG, bro, as he gets shut down, and Gecko Z hits a double. This man is on fire as he looks right behind, but blocked out by the smoke. Tatasi manages to clap him right back after he rips away two of their team members. So Leap stays in the run. But still, 16 teams are in here, truly fit for this grand finals. Everybody refusing to fall now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a slow game. It would be a minimal engagement beginning at this point. But Bave, Trevor almost being taken down. Hajime would be coming back in here, going in for Glide. And RGD might be feeling the wrath of Pave in this game. Pave Omni goes in for a hit against Indra. Now, Hajime, with a first initial frag, the rest of the teams might have been pushed away already as we take a peek at Four Kings, who has been hanging in to the edge of a circle with the vehicles as well as just preparing themselves on an onslaught that's going to unfold in a bit.
And this is the one and only Four Kings, Super Jeff and squad. Look at them, man, stacked on the cash. And hitting the chip upgrade because they know their priorities, right? Not looking for those engagements, not looking for those early points, making sure they get that airdrop, making sure they get all of their guns from the gunsmith before they get involved in some heavy engagements, looking for the circle, prioritizing the big prize at the end of the day. What Overload said no to, they want a piece of 10,000 USD, possibly already halfway to the hands of Four Kings because once again, they have got the quality. It is for the other teams to put a stop to them today, Nat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if they can find any approach that might take down at least one or two players from Four Kings, it would cut off their feet, and it would slow down any movement that they will need to do to be able to get into that victory blitz eligibility. But a lot of slowdown has been happening, and only a few engagement, but is RGD, Costa, as well as, believe this is Leap, in a three-way battle as Baldur's right now trying to chase into the blue, and a little bit of gunshots coming as well from campsite now as they try to survive the zone. I guess this is the time that we might be seeing a few of the teams being eliminated in this game.
That is unfortunate. The first team to get taken out of the equation here as the rest of them squeeze on in. But that is an expected feature of this map as those circles tighten on in. Too many of these teams will find their fate end right here. And another one is about to be shut down. One of them, the one and only Rigid TSG, with one player inside the Gulag already. They're trying to play this as slow as possible. The rest of them on the side of Team K, OBS main, have got the high ground advantage, looking for those shots. But it looks like Team Rigid does not want to fight. Cloudy moves on to the bottom. He has got vantage point here up against Lay, but Lay hiding away as OBS Paul now drops down to the ground, waiting for someone to pick him up.
Yep, Paul has fallen And let's see if he'll be able to get back up for RGD. Lei will also try to be picked up, but Paul, no recovery is being done by the team, and OBS would still be hanging in with 3, but there is a little bit of smoke action to give them the opportunity. It seems like it will be a 4-man strong that they will be prioritizing and using later on against teams like RGD. And there goes the shots by Slashy. A little anticipation on where Sekre is, but I think Sekre is in a safe spot right now, going in further to take away Fry on the other side.
Oh my, 2 more players left in here. The other 2 in the gulag. Sekre and Slashy need to survive somehow. But it doesn't look like Slashy is playing this safe at all. Just trying to take advantage of that high ground that he has on his side. On the flip side of things, you've got the 4 Kings once again in action. Drace shut down as he turned his back up against Super Jeff. But Clancy claps him right back. 4 Kings in a lot of trouble. Yato! Down on the ground as well. Tom Pips looking for the save up against 2 players. And he bears 1 down alongside Cat. 4 Kings are still alive and kicking. Finally sent into the gulag. The players on the side of Ivy have to find some way back in here alongside OBS.
Yeah, behind Poison Ivy could have taken advantage of the high ground they have, but it was the movement of Tom Peeps as well that saves him. He went in for the 1, goes in for a slide, tried to load up, and then once the other player from the side of Poison Ivy steps in, he still managed to go for that elimination. That Blackfire also receiving a little bit of elimination, and 2 will be going back to Gulag. I know that they have been sent earlier, but they also have that Gulag token to play with. So even if they fall down, there's still an opportunity for them to come back into play.
Oof. 3 teams eliminated already. A heated battle in here for the first match of this grand finals. And obviously the main suspects are all in here. And obviously 4 Kings not going to be stuck in the gulag for too long. Right back in it as they drop back in. Super Jeff managing to take 2 players down before getting kicked out earlier on up against Clemcy. And they won that rematch up against 2 players. Get right beside him as they try to shut them down. Natasi managing to get away. Stays down straight to the ground. And out of here they go. They do not want to fight 4 Kings again.
Yeah, they know exactly who they are facing, and they will be backing away. At least better position right now, and also good chance to gatekeep the 4 Kings. So they're just going for opportunities overall. And the 4 Kings, if they rush in straight and to the hands of Leap, then they might be going down in a bit. Unless they go in for a different flank and meet up a different team, then that's a different story that we might be seeing out of 13 teams. Lip Unbound is going in for a fight against Pave, or rather against Blackfire, and the goal would be dealing with the 10th elimination for the team at this point.
And the pace, it seems like it slowed down, but don't let what you see on your screen fool you at this point of time. We only can look at 1 player at a time, unfortunately. Yes, Leap up! Beautiful rewind. Anbu now knows exactly what to expect. The players up top, a tad bit confused, but 4 Kings, Tom Peeps taken out, no more revival for you, and the rest of them closing down on each and every single one of the players here on the side of 4 Kings. And unfortunately, you've got the players of Rigid TSG here, all full health. She tried to shut them down one after the other. They know exactly who they are, like you said, Neptune, and they want to make sure they take 4 Kings out of the equation early, and we've only got the one and only Super Jeff left in here to save them.
Yeah, let's see though, is Super Jeff doesn't look that super in that fight. It was just sitting down and unable to move. And I believe that is the end for teams of 4 Kings in this battle. 9 teams remaining at this point. Even Pave managed to survive with Trevor on the helm. But he needs to be careful. He needs to be slow in rushing in and not to be careless, because we've seen how that happened. If you face against probably a team like Blackfire or Rigid, then you might be going down and saying goodbye for the opportunity to get more points.
Oh, this is D-Day here, Blackfire. Everybody just trying to avoid engagements as much as possible. It's unlike the good old days where you can keep on reviving again and again and again until that last revival flight. Now, you clunk out too many times, and that's the end of the road for you. Kleptasi managing to clap yet another lick, taken out of the equation this time round. Anbu looking for 1. Wild sprays all around the players from the side of Leap. Just try to get lucky here with one of those connections.
Yeah, let's see though if that's something that they can work with at this point. Well, the distance might not work, but at least they're chipping in a little bit of damage against the team. Nash Daisy, while trying to survive, only 16 in HP, did manage to top up on that, but unfortunately for Berto, he will be eliminated. Only 3 remains for Blackfire. As we look into Leap and Bound, Anbu, they will try to tank the zone as they flank away from Leap main, as well as Blackfire, as well as Immortal Esports, who is on our side, and Void, as well as Bird, managed to see Trevor, and I think that is it for Pave Omni.
Yeah, Dougal can still be picked up here. They just need to get close enough to him before they can do something. The players are all up on their feet. MJ's there. They quickly drop the smokes as well. Good play defensively, and Therefore, Leap Unbound Unbu is going to be pretty much perfect as they enter this next circle. It's definitely a tad bit crowded in there. 16 more players left. And we don't have so many of those squads who are all perfect. One of the few is IE and Rage SS who don't have any bit of competition on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are keeping their distance, making sure that they will be a 4-man strong later on. But I think they don't have any idea that Leap and Bound is also a 4-man strong. So if they can keep it up until the final moment, then it might be a 4v4 in a bit. KM2 has left the building, and now Leap, well, despite the Gugo being picked up, Gugo will be taken out, leaving 3 for Leap Anbu. As MJ putting a pressure on a different kind of Leap on the other side, left to Z and Settle, and turning out to the side, sees Carl, but the rush is a little too quick, and MJ would be going down from the hands of Alien.
Yeah, unfortunate. MJ was just sticking to one spot as the rewind player. That was the wrong move. He couldn't run away. He couldn't hit the rewind because that'll just rewind him right to that same spot. Got clapped as he got flanked around from the back. And team